Hello everyone and welcome back to another Legion video. They covered quite a few elements of the class order halls during the con and a few Q&As, including teasing some features that have definitely got me quite interested. The first thing I'm going to cover in this video is the mechanics, and then I'll talk about the lore. So the scouting map is the central content hub in the class order hall. It's basically a map that has content on it. The example they gave is that you will use it to choose your first leveling zone, and that as time goes on you'll be able to return to it for more content. They also mentioned champions, and they said the champions are going to be unlike the followers of Warlords of Draenor because they, for the most part, will be pretty significant characters in their own right. An example given was Liadrin. We will be seeing them out in the world, and it seems to be implied that there will be associated questing content with these guys. What's less clear though is whether we will send them off on any sort of mission. At Gamescom it was sort of hinted that you could send them off on a mission and that mission would unlock content in the world for you to do, but that's a little bit up in the air right now. I do hope that we get some character development and quest storylines going on with the champions though. That could be pretty high quality content. The order halls themselves are going to have some shared functionality across the board. They specifically mention the ability to show off tier sets that you have earned. Now, since it's a shared space, I've got to assume that stuff will just be phased to you. Additionally, developers have talked about the ability to earn things for your class order hall in the world and via other activities. What exactly will we earn? Well, we don't know. Again, it's probably stuff that will be phased to your character. They have certainly been quite tight-lipped about customization elements. The order halls are also going to have content that is unique to each class. So, as an example, warriors are going to have a sparring arena. Rogues are going to be able to pickpocket each other as well. So it seems like they will have something that's perhaps a little bit more gimmicky and fun that works with each class's fantasy, that might be a sort of downtime activity that you can just do when you're chilling out in the order hall. It also looks like there will be quest content. They said the demon hunters will have quest stuff surrounding the hunting of demons. That overall suggests to me that we might get access to quest content that is based off the fantasy of our class. That's one of the things that I put forward in a video a while back, so it's definitely nice to see that might actually be a thing. If it works like the other world quests in Legion, then I assume this would just add a new objective to your world map. Other examples of utility are that hunters are going to have a lodge in High Mountain, and that lodge is going to give them access to a special flight network that only hunters can use. Druids are going to get a similar thing in that their connection to the Emerald Dream inside their order hall is going to allow them to teleport, or at least reach, natural places quite quickly. Additionally, everyone is going to have an instant port to their class hall that makes some sort of thematic sense. So for an example, hunters will call down an eagle which will swoop them away and take them to the hall. The order halls themselves are also going to manage your artifact weapon. Each one has a pedestal or a sort of, font of power or whatever that you put your artifact on, and at that you interact with the weapon and you're able to change its skin and its color variations. Based on what they have said, it seems like quests which will unlock further skins will launch from the order halls. That's not 100% set in stone, but that seems to be what they're suggesting. Also, emissary NPCs from the expansion's reputation factions will visit your order hall from time to time. They will offer a quest that asks you to do a number of objectives out in the world which are themed around that faction. This isn't on a daily basis though, and the NPCs will stack up over time before eventually leaving. This means that if you take a few days off when you arrive back at your order hall, you're actually going to have a few NPCs pulled up with lots of content for you to do. Also, in an interview they said that people will visit the hall 1 to 2 times a day, but they also want people to be visiting Dalaran regularly, and then making sure the bad elements of the garrison don't spill into this expansion via the class order halls is a priority and something that they're trying to be careful with. From what I've seen, the order halls very much seem to send you away into the world a lot more than keep you inside them, which is quite opposite to a lot of what the garrisons ended up doing in Warlords of Draenor. We also found out via a Q&A that Horde and Alliance won't be able to chat to each other, at least currently, but Demon Hunters might have access to a cross-faction chat via speaking in Demonic. And finally, I'm just going to cover some of the lore criteria. So they wanted the class halls to fulfill some stuff. First of all, they had to be positioned to counter the Legion. They are specifically something to do with countering the Legion invasion. They also had to have a unique feel to the class, and something that would make sense for all of the different class fantasies. So for an example, a warrior who is a barbarian, a warrior who is a knight. They used the example of Druid, saying that Moonglade was a pretty strong choice, but it didn't necessarily represent Feral and Guardian as much as they would like, and overall they can do better. So Druids are going to have a location called Dream Grove, or the Dream Grove. It's completely immersed in the Emerald Dream, and overall they feel it's a stronger fantasy, which is why it's been selected. This mentality explains why the likes of Ravenhold and Frey Island are not going to be Order Halls. Personally, I agree with that, and I think it's better that they try to make unique and new stuff with the Order Halls as much as they can. There are some other tidbits about locations. As an example, we know that mages will be reforming some sort of secret order, and that it will be more than just a mage hideout in Dalaran. And we also know that warlocks are going to try to get a little bit big for their boots in terms of where they try to claim for their Order Hall, and that might not work out great for them. But again, that's just tidbits that we've seen across the con and the various different things that people have said. That is basically it for this video. That's a full overview of all that we know about the class Order Halls in Legion so far, especially with all of that Blizzcon information. We're going to have to wait to get more details, probably in the beta, which should be pretty soon. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.